Hello everybody! Well, Park of Military History in Slovenia. I'm gonna take you guys around, show you this museum. I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard a lot of good stories and they've got like everything you want in a museum. They've got tanks, airplanes, apparently also a submarine. They've got original World War I bunkers, the whole lot. So I will be busy for today and I'm gonna take you guys along and show you this cool museum. Right, here we go, guys. Well, so far, I don't know, I'm really excited. The guy was like super nice at the entrance and he's gonna give me a private tour in English in a Yugoslavian submarine boat. And yeah, let's go. Let's find some tanks and weapons and everything. Well, here just some signs where they really wore it till the end. They really cover whole World War II, as you can see. In short, with some cool photos, everything. So not just Slovenia, but really a complete World War II. Awesome, okay. And I already see some, oh look, check. Armored train. Just have to, they have it in all languages. And I must say, really professional museum so far, with great people. The young kid actually knew what he was talking about. And Pavilion B and C, he said, that's where the cool stuff is. He said we have a lot of World War II, but look here, is this like Panzer, anti-aircraft. You know, this is like Yugoslavian, Soviet gear, still in use today in Ukraine, etc. Aircraft, look, they got everything. This is like armored train type, or just there's German stuff on it. Oh look here. Also like, yeah, he told me they had an original train wagon from the war. Indeed, like the one I saw at Vught concentration camp. Yeah, cannon on top of it. Cool. MA8 helicopter. Nice. Just gonna check the information sign on this train. So the museum is actually a bit on a mountain, but they somehow managed to get a submarine here and this train. So they put in a lot of work. Vrishna class 52. That does not look to be German then, but wait, oh it is actually German class 52 locomotive, pre-war. The new, let's see, 52 were produced. This wow, cool. Original marking during the war, was made in 43 in Berlin. Special place in our Slovenian history as it brought an end to the era of steam-powered trains in Ljubljana with a ceremonial journey. Okay, so yes, completely original German, used in the war, stayed behind in Slovenia, was in service until the 80s, and then it found its place here. Mega. Lots of tank barriers there, we'll check that out later. Alright, let's dive into this pavilion over here. Well, this is what you see when you come in here. Cool, they know how to display things. good stuff. Nice steward. Another one. Yugoslavian markings on it, assuming Yugoslavia used these. Look, all the partisan tanks. It's from like the army from Tito, who later became the leader of Yugoslavia. And after Tito died, Yugoslavia fell apart with the terrible wars that followed. So this is all World War II, M7 priced. Brand carrier, of course. Yes, look at this. I actually had the wheel with me at the fair and tracks and I can already tell you, I like this museum, guys. I like it. Germans, I don't. Well, I say it's not original, but this is actually a post-war version, so it could be original. The metal is post-war, but not post-war. The Germans had to remove the swastika because they were not allowed to carry it. So, for the soldiers, they produced these without the swastika. Yes. Again, the Yugoslavian markings on these tanks. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that all these tanks stayed behind in World War II and were in service in the Yugoslavian army until they were, of course, obsolete. 6-pounder, 57mm, British. And the 1st Partisan Tank Brigade used these. And post-war also used by the Yugoslavian army. Schneider, German. Why the Germans confiscated it? It's a French one, actually. Is this an IS-2? Soviet? German howitzer, 105mm. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's really terrible for me. M47 Patton. So yes, here it reads. Most of the M472s ended up in the hands of allied countries, including Yugoslavia. And they used them until the 50s. Look how small it is. Yes, a great collection of vehicles. M36 Jackson, Scout cars. I wonder what this one is, like Finnish or light howitzer. US paratroopers, Czech. Again, used by indeed Yugoslavia after World War II. So that's how all these weapons ended up here in this museum. So everything you see here has been used in World War II. Really cool. types of grenades for display. Really what you want to see in a museum, you know, not too much nonsense, just weapons, grenades. Here, of course, a Panzerfaust, not in great condition, but original. Here, check. Here, this one too, here, Panzerschreck. Relic, but original, you know, probably found like in Slovenia after the war and now on display in a museum. Really cool. Yeah, all types of grenades with the cutouts. So you can really see. And with the detonator. 2 centimeter flags. Also, like relics. Preserved. Original pieces. Yugoslavian submarine gun. Here, a Schneider, that's like World War I, I guess. 1906. Used also 1948. Israeli wars. Greyhound. I think some crash relics, field work done here. Look, see where they digging up the crashed airplanes. Explains a bit about the workers and that the family helped recover the aircraft because it was underground. So yes, you often have people complain about relics, blah, 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 blah. Then you come in these good museums and it's full with relics. You know, relics are a part of history. And, you know, relics also belong in a museum, whether that's your private museum or not. So, yeah, really cool. Happy about this one here. I'll just have another walkthrough for you guys. So I didn't miss anything. Really, really cool. I'm happy I came here. Yeah, look, that's Harley Davidson. So yes, was the first hall. Now we're gonna go to the second one. Check that one out. All right, hall number 2. Wow, great display. Procured in Italy by United States Navy. Guns, country of origin, Yugoslavia. So here we're a little bit of a mix, World War II and Yugoslavia. But it's all really connected. For example, the MG42, Yugoslavia still produced it after the war for many years. Look at that, big gas mask collection. Yeah, Blas told me about that. I'm gonna check that out. He told me they had some really, really rare pieces in there. Flak 37, 88 millimeter. Of course, guys. But the gas mask collection here, let's see. This is comes from the private collection of Thomas Bolcic. That's what the Blazindi told me. So you have, yeah, wow, guys. Just look at this from the early models. And then we go further and further, and just, wow. This is a beautiful gas mask collection. Look, this is one of these gas masks for children. Really, really rare. Italian ones, different countries. These are all Italian, World War II. And then Italian civil gas masks. Yes, beautiful collection, very nice museum. Glad I came here, really. And well, we're gonna move on. So I'm kind of in a hurry because I've got the submarine appointment with the young lad here. So let's see. Here's a toilet. I want to use that. So. Police boat, Slovenian. Republic of Slovenia, new police boats, 1991. It's when they became independent from Yugoslavia, so that's why this one for them is a special piece. Slovenia. Check. This all had to do with when Slovenia declared independence. Like on the beginning of our arrival, I talked about the helicopter they shut down because that pilot wanted to bring it back to Slovenia. He got shut down. This one also got damaged, but they managed to land it. And yeah, cool.
The Slovenes threw down the gauntlet.
Mi smo dali zelo resno opozorilo vojski, da v primeru, da bomo ugotovili kakršnekoli premike vojaških helikopterjev nad Ljubljano, da jih bomo tudi sestrelili.
Helikopter koji je baš snabdevao sa hranom poletao iz naše kase. Smo čuli tresak i moment kada je, znači kad je padao, kad je pogođen, kad je pao.
All the helicopter had been carrying was bread for the Yugoslav soldiers. The pilot, who lay dead among the twisted wreckage, was a Slovene serving in the Yugoslav army.
Teško je to bilo. To je bilo moment kada vidiš da više nema šale.
Here, parts of destroyed vehicles. Tanks here, look, cut through the gun. This is from a Sherman, I guess. Well, it's a bit modern, but cool, really impressive. The site is bigger than the museum, but the stuff they have here is really nice, and everything has its historical significance. Look, from the German anti-tank traps, kind of like obstacles. German ones indeed, yes. So yes, these were used in Slovenia in World War II, so original pieces. So I'm gonna show you this aircraft here. These are the ones that were used in the Yugoslavian army. They were also used to well, try and attack Slovenia at the moment they declared independence, but I said it was a short war they had here, and Slovenians became independent. Really, really cool, and I said it's so cold. I have an appointment here with the young lad, so I'll be going there soon. So we're gonna check out the submarine, go inside. Original Yugoslavian submarine. They had like 6 in service. And if you know from my old videos, I went to Vis Island to the submarine bunkers. And this submarine is exactly what was like in these bunkers. So check out my old videos about Croatia, Vis Island. I still wanted to show you this. Here they talk about the Alpine Wall. Like before World War II, Italy, they constructed a whole defensive wall, a bit like the Germans also had. And that wall ran through what is now Slovenia. But before World War II or World War I, that was Italy. And so the Italians lost a lot of country because of the war they fought, a bit like Germany. And yeah, just defensive dome, right? They could lift it with a crane, put it on top of concrete, and you would have a bunker. And this looks appeared to be some battle damage, I don't know. Would have been a machine gun placed. Well, before we head to the submarine, still another exhibition. It's a bit of everything, I guess. But my guide said it was worth checking out. Exhibition to hell and back. Fighting in the trenches. So, well, let's check it out. And then I really need a coffee. Starting with to hell and back. Aircraft. Look. A World War II aircraft exhibition. Like really explaining everything. Lots of numbers, information. Parachutes. Because a lot of American bombers who were bombing Europe, they came from Africa at one point. And many of them crashed down in Slovenia, Yugoslavia. And this is an exhibition exactly about that. So it's really, really interesting, actually. I believe these items are the original items from this American pilot. He, by the flag, at least passed away by now. Some of the relics from his airplane. Look, B-24H double trouble. See, photo from the crash site. So yes, a really interesting exhibition. So my guide was right. '44. Here the oxygen tanks. I think we have one for sale on our website. This is the B-17 parts, specifically from Dark Eyes. Those items from the And here we have another one, B-24 bugs. All the items from this airplane, look. Dog tags, wallet of David M. Holdsworth, gifted to Ursula Zima. That's how they ended up in the museum. Donated G. Gardner. Donated G. Gardner. Look, it's a pilot. He is gifted this. He was actually captured. There's a Stalag tag. Wow. Really impressive. B-24 Liberator bugs. Yes. It's like this is what I want to see in a museum. Really, stories from the pilot with original items, no fake stuff. In my opinion, this is like a really, really good museum. One of the best I've been to, for sure. So if you are in the neighborhood of Slovenia, check this one out. It's really worth it. I don't have so much time, but you can spend a couple of hours here. It's really interesting. I said, everything here is very extensively about here. At least 37 of these bombers crashed. All the information. Very extensively. Look, all original relics. With really personal information, photos from all the Air Force men. So yeah, this room is really dedicated about all the aircrafts that flew and crashed over here in Slovenia. And then suddenly we're in a room full of spears. Okay, we're skipping this one because I want to keep it to World War II. But yeah, to hell and back. Great exhibition. I like it. I like it. And well, I think this is fighting the exhibition, fighting behind the trenches. Isonzo front. So this will be a lot of World War I, guess, and military. So this is like Slovenia, Italy, and we are now somewhere that area. So this was the high mountain front. Pretty much like Mont Grappa, where we were in Italy. They had the same crazy supply lines all through the mountains. And the last exhibition room. And it looks like a lot of this is dedicated to the Enigma machine, which explains everything in detail. Everything is in English, also perfectly explained. Alan Turing. I guess here a bit more explaining World War II informations from the beginning to the end. Like, you know, basic setup about the history, but exactly what I like about the museum, you know. It explains the basic, but it shows really beautiful items, and wow. Just quickly have a look on the medals and stuff. Well, I'm not sure about all of these, to be honest. They're good, but the uniform itself look good. Cross and gold also. Here a big aerial bomb cut up. Enigma. True relic of the war. Oh look, they got it from the sea. See, specifically about the R-15. And I guess they found this Enigma in there. Really beautifully set up here about the conservation process. Conserve it. Really cool about, you know, relics, preservation. Ah, now I get it. See, and this is the gun from the boat, the R-15. So this is a little bit an exhibition about, the Second World War in the Adriatic. That's the Adriatic Sea. And the R1 minesweeper, and its relic in the Adriatic Sea. Here, boat Pivka 15, sinking of the R-15. English Navy detected it. 5 crews managed to save themselves. Really nice. Unique exhibition, I can tell you that. This part. Yes, this museum keeps surprising me, actually. I thought I'll go higher up, it will not be that cool, but even this part, it's really cool with relics and the stories about it. Super. Now really, quickly get a coffee and a submarine, because I've already reached my time limit, so. Here we are, the last exhibition room of the museum. A bit more than modern gear here. all from like former Yugoslavia. So we're gonna show you around a little bit. And there's one really cool thing here. Check out, they have a submarine inside. Original piece. Not that big actually. And we had a really cool tour in the submarine. So if you want to know more about it, I've made a special episode because it was just too much information to put everything in one video. I'll try and put the link somewhere here. So if you want to check out the submarine, go for it in a special video. We had a great tour guide from the museum, Jakub. So nice guy, good tour guide. And yeah, let's continue and finish this museum up. Some great aircraft, all from former Yugoslavia. So yes, Yugoslavia was, you know, multiple countries. Serbia, Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Montenegro, and I lost the other one. But anyway, they had a, you know, a good working economy. All these countries, they had a lot of knowledge. So yes, they were able to produce their own military weaponry in all sorts. In combination with, you know, Soviets, the West, everything. This would be like a trench digging machine. These are still in use in Ukraine to this day because, you know, trench warfare is back, unfortunately. These scout vehicles, oh, look at this edge. Massive, really. And here, really cool cutout. So you kind of have the idea how they would sit and work in here. And just look how small and tiny this was. Ammunition right in the turret, you know the deal. They go flying. Here an M84 tank, country of origin Yugoslavia, you know. They produce their own tanks. These were in use up until the 90s and probably still in like these crazy African countries. Yugoslavia was a very big arms seller worldwide to, well, not so democratic countries, to say it in a nice way. But I'm not gonna give my opinion on that. Look, yeah, it's just anti-aircraft combat. That piece will annihilate everything, eh? Saber aircraft here, you see the bottom. Some information about Yugoslavian weaponry they all produced. Although this is example of a modern rocket system. I was just gonna say this is American, right? Well, you know, these the Katusha. Still in use to this day. Like different version of it. I would say. all about restorations, explaining about it. That's what I really like about this museum, you know. This is really, in my opinion, it's like a collector's museum because they explain about the relics, the preservation process in a really extensive way. Just like the exhibition before about the American aircrafts and things, and just really, you can spend hours here if you really are interested in that kind of gear. Still go to the other part of the hall behind the submarine. You know what this is? Gift of the manufacturers to the members of Yugoslavia. And I do think this is like real gold. I mean, Yugoslavia, right? Balkan style. Again, showing you the submarine. And let's go to the other hall. Well, this one looks to have been used. I'll tell you that. I don't know if there's like... Oh, here, look, information. Armored battalion in Croatia. The Yugoslavians, because Croatia fought Yugoslavia also for their independence. But that war, unfortunately, had a lot different ending than the war in Slovenia. Years of suffering, genocide on both sides, by the way. Bosnia-Herzegovina, all the crazy stuff that happened in the 90s. As I said, I've made many videos about that from my Croatia trip. Check it out, very interesting, not always easy to watch because a lot of nasty things happened. And yeah, that even to me and Yolanda, when we were walking there, we were like, wow, you know, this hurts to really see it with your own eyes, just crazy. And yeah, here a strange example. This was a common thing in the Yugoslavia wars. This kind of portrays it in a good way, yeah. So yes, this was a Yugoslavian car, they produced the cars, etc., etc. Those days are over now, we're all separate countries and now everybody drives a Volkswagen here. Here above us still a MiG. Yes, these MiGs were used in the wars in the 90s. A lot of them also got shot down. There's like crazy footage available from that. As for example, when Croatia and Slovenia declared independence, they simply had pretty much no aircraft, because that was all part of the Yugoslavian army. So they had to just use their anti-air rockets and stuff like that. So every plane they downed, it was like big victory. There's just crazy footage of that available on the internet. If you Google like Yugoslavian plane shut down, you will get there.
Oba dva!
So yes, end of this museum tour, guys. We hoped you like it. I surely did. I enjoyed it a lot. As I said, great museum, like historically correct and just exactly the right information. Great items, great people working here who are also interested in history. So yes, thumbs up from Rocksteady Militaria for this museum. And don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment.